Hey, we're the American Dreamers. I'm Jake. This is Chipmunk.
Hi.
And today we're going to be building some cutting boards for our moms for Christmas. So first off, I want to show you what kinds of wood we're going to be using. So we're going to start with a maple, a hickory, and a poplar. And the reason we're doing that is because they're hardwoods. You got to use hardwoods. And then if you come in here on this, the side grain here, you can see that the maple is a closed grain, and the hickory, or the mahogany, sorry, is a open grain. And open grain, it's more porous, the water can get down into it, and then you can grow bacteria, not very good for you. But the closed grain, the water doesn't get in there, so then you're okay with that. So we won't be using the mahogany because it's open grain. So let's go ahead and get that on out of here. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. And after much thinking and math and to figure out how we're gonna make these, we're gonna do side grain up. And then we measured out, we're gonna go ahead and rip these boards at 5/8 inch, and that'll give us what we need. So now we got the boards ripped down at 5/8 inch. We're just gonna go ahead and cut them each board at 15 inches. I got a jig set up so I don't have to keep measuring it out. So we're just gonna go ahead and get at it. Make sure you mark the face grain of each board before you cut it to 15, so you know, because we're going to end up gluing the face grain together, so you decide that mark side, you know that you're going to be using it to glue against the other ones. So over here, we got everything cut out, and basically we're just going to take our wood, stick it together, glue it together, clamp it up really nice, and make it look fancy. We'll just rearrange it for whatever pattern that we want. It'll be frankly, it'll be fantastic, it'll be amazing. And yeah, it'll be great. Now that we have all the boards sanded down, now you're going to go through and choose which side you want facing up and which side you want facing down. So on this one here, you can see right there you got a big chunk out at that knot. So that side is going to face down. So you're going to face it down, you're going to go ahead and mark the side that's facing down. And then you're going to go ahead and put it down. You're just going to go through the rest of your boards, looking at splits and cracks and different marks, which one you want facing up and which one you want facing down. And continue to mark your board side down. And you might say, well, it's just cutting board, it's reversible. We're gonna do some fancy stuff at the end that will cause people to typically use one side more than the rest of the other sides. So you just wanna make sure that the side up, the top side that you're gonna be using all the time, is the nicest side that you have. You can stop filming there. Okay, so for the cutting board itself, we got the hickory, the maple, the poplar. I just chose my own pattern here. You can make your own pattern, you don't have to have a pattern. You can just do whatever you want, mix it up, make it fancy, make it cool, make it unique, make it you. And just do something cool. You just choose your pattern, and then after this we're gonna glue it together, clamp it, and wait for it to dry. Okay, so we made two boards. On the first one, we clamped it together. We did a little bit too tight and it warped a little bit, so we had to do a lot of work to take that out, a lot of sanding, some planing. So for the second one, when we clamped it together, we put these boards over top of it, then used the old trusty C-clamp to bring it down, so it kept it flat. And we tightened them together. So unless you're gonna do something like this, you don't want to over tighten just in case it's gonna warp on you. So yeah, we did that. We got them all planed and sanded. And probably the next step we're gonna do is we're gonna solve this edge right here that's not even at all. So we're gonna go ahead and get that cut down with a fancy jig I made. Okay, so on this jig, really just gonna wing it. You measure from the edge of this right here to your saw, which for me is about a little under 1.5 inches. So then you measure in from your shortest distance on the board right here, 1.5 inches in. Then I went a little bit farther and made a line across. It's, make sure it's square at the edge. Then I'm going to use this board. I'm going to clamp it down. That's going to be my guard to go along the side of the saw. Some people use just freehand it and get a straight line. I don't get straight lines because I'm a noob. I'm not very good at this whole, freehanding, just go for it thing. So we're going to use this jig that I made up, and we're just going to go ahead and cut that. Alright, so now that we got the ends cut off and sanded down, we're going to use the router and we're going to round off the edges, make it look really nice. So yeah, let's get at it.
So once we're all done rounding off the edges, we are going to sand it off a little bit, and then we are going to spray it with water, and that will cause to raise the grain. Once it's all dry, we're going to sand it off, and then we're going to do stuff with it. That's good.
Alright, so we finished up sanding the cutting boards, took some air compressor, blew the air out, and then we took the shop vac, took all the sawdust out of there best we could. And now it's time to apply the oil. It's got to be food safe, mineral oil. We went to Menards and got Howard's, not a sponsor yet, or ever. But it's time to rip this cloth in half, because we're going to use this to apply it. Gotta put plenty of it on there and just rub it in there real good. First time I've ever done this, so don't take my word for it. Learn through experience. Knowledge through experience, folks. Not the best way to go in life, but it works in this situation. Alright, so here we have the final product. We finished up the cutting boards. We got 2 of them here because there's 2 of us doing this. Got the edges nice and rounded off there. We ended up putting 3 coats of that Howard stuff on there, the mineral oil that we had for it. Hopefully it'll look nice. Hope my moms will like it as much as we love them. So yeah, it's a good project, fun. And it's, just, if you're ever going to do it, make sure you stay safe and don't cut your fingers off. Wear it loud, wear it proud. We are the American Dreamers.